decision made. I've just started putting up a few pieces of foil here, just covering up the wooden or exposed wood, and after doing that I've decided I've marked a little cutout here, and it's time to start butchering. All right, time for time lapse. Okay, well, oops, it's getting a little bit late. It's 5 p.m, but it's getting a little bit late now to be making noise. Don't want to be disturbing the neighbors too much. I managed to cut the hole here. I don't want to put this in yet. There we go. So that's nice and tight. Now, obviously, I'm going to need to get cables in and out here. So on the other side, I'm just going to need to drill, or rather just take a little notch out. So it won't be seen at all from the outside. I'll take a notch out of the top and bottom, so I'll be able to run the cables through without them actually coming out the front. Obviously this is going to be mostly recessed into the wood. So I'm going to need that little bit of space, that little notch there, to get the cables in and out. So I'm going to finish that now. I've probably just got enough battery from the half charge that I did to drill that notch, and I'll hopefully, fingers get crossed, I'll hopefully get to it tomorrow. All right, but for you guys, it'll be instant. Talk to you soon. And so it's day 3 now of the Busbar install. So a few hours here, a few hours there. Now I've run into a little bit of an issue just with regards to how much cable I have and need. So the last part you saw, I have the run for battery 1, and the cable length is approximately 129 centimeters. On the top level to the breaker, and I've taken the measurements, basically the lower part running to the busbar connector under here. That's 120. So I basically have 2.5 meters of cable per battery to connection overall, and I have to keep them the same length so that the resistance will be more or less the same. So I only had enough spare cable for that one run, and what I was thinking is I would have enough cable in what was connecting between the inverter and the other battery, so from the inverter to battery 1, and then I have more cable between battery 1 and battery 2. But that's because I hadn't planned out my cable run. And that's the thing, when you haven't decided on a plan and it's ad hoc, you're a lot more likely to run into issues. So my advice is plan out your cable runs, get your lengths, and stick to that. I hadn't done that, so this is a consequence of not properly planning. Right. Now that I know what direction I am going, I'm going to order some more cable. So this piece here, I'd say I have a little over a meter, so I probably have enough to run this, the top section to battery 2. Now I physically have enough cable length to run the whole lot from battery 2 to the top and then down, but the issue there is it would be a different cable length to what battery 1 is, and I'm trying to keep everything to the same specifications, so I'm going to have to order more cable. That's what I'm going to do right now. So I'll have my top run. I'll need more cable here for the bottom section, and then I'll need for battery 3 I'm going to need another top section and bottom section. Now I could possibly have enough if the 35 mil cables and the new connectors actually connect to this inverter, but I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to leave all this connected. I'm going to just order a little bit extra cable and completely discount what I have here connecting to battery 1. So I'm just going to ignore that I have that and pretend that I don't, and just do my cable run from there. That should work out fine. So I'm going to order a few more meters of black and red 25 mil square cable, and once I do that, I'm going to come back out here. I'm going to finish the top run here, and I'm going to install the other bus bar connectors underneath cabinets 2 and 3. Then I think what I'll do is I'll prepare for battery 3. I've given a little bit more thought here, and for battery 4 I'm probably not going to go ahead with it, so I'm going to cut this out anyway. I've already started it, so I'm just going to cut it out and I can blank it off. So if I am going to use it in the future, it's there, it's ready to go. There's very little work involved in actually adding a 4th battery, but I'm just thinking at the moment it's not the right time for it. I don't have the capacity to really charge it. I'd probably only be able to take advantage of it you know, a couple of months of the summer, because of my main incoming is limited. I'm just not going to be able to fully charge 4 batteries and take advantage by export, so it doesn't make any financial sense at the moment. It's more of a, I'd really like to have it, but it doesn't really make any sense. Alright, so time to order some more cables, and then I suppose we'll get to a time lapse and show you a little bit more work getting done. Okay, cables are ordered. Another 4 meters of red and black 25 mil square, so that should arrive on Saturday. It's now Thursday, 31st of October, Halloween, so I'll definitely be getting all this done before it gets dark. So all the kids will be coming around trick-or-treating, and well, they need their treats. So time lapse time. So I'm at the stage now, just drilling a couple of holes here. First one, unfortunately, I ran into a couple of screws that were supporting the cross member here on cabinet 1. So I blunted my size 12 spade bit, or rather my size 16. As you can see, not really any use now, so I've gone for the size 12, which is just wide enough to be able to fit the 35 mil square through. It's a little tight, a little snug, but it'll do the job. I don't want to go up to a size 19 or 20, which is basically all I have left. So I'm cutting these. These are my, I suppose, my interconnects. This is going to connect one bus bar to the next. So I'm going to grab the red cable, cut it to the same length as the black cable here, and I suppose I'll put a lug on one end of each, slide it through, and then put the lugs on the other ends and go from there. I now have, this is 35 square cable that I'm crimping, and these are pretty good lugs that I picked up locally enough in a camper. I don't know, the Americans, I think you call them RVs or whatever, but camper vans. So I picked up some of these lugs here, and they are absolutely fantastic quality. They're nice and thick, and I'm getting a nice grip on them. So I have the 35 die here, and I got a really good crimp on this first one, which got me thinking maybe that was partly the issue that I was having crimping yesterday. So I'm just going to get this second crimp on now. So this is important. Bear in mind the direction that it's going to go in. So I basically want to crimp it the flat side up, and you know, obviously on the upper curve. I don't want to be crimping it the other way around, because then I'd have to twist the cable 180 degrees. So this cable is here, it's basically just going to go straight up, so I want to crimp it at the right angle. And make sure we get all the strands in solid. Now ideally I'll have a second pair of hands, but you know what, I'm used to working on my own, so I'll make this work. All right, got a good crimp going on here. Let's tighten it down. Damn, why do I give myself so little room? All right, that's up there. Yeah, I know you can't really see this. You'll see when I get to the other side. So I'll just speed this part up for you maybe. Right, so busbars in the middle. Oh God, why did I do this to myself? See, all I'm doing here, you know, I could have cut this shorter and made life a little bit easier, but I'm just trying to keep everything the same length. Now, if I really have an issue here, I can just move the buzz bar a little further out. It's not an issue. Come on. Yeah, I can do that further out. Right, let me just see if that's out far enough before I commit. Yeah, I think that'll do the job. Lovely. Go. Right. That's what we want. Of course, could have made life a lot easier for myself and, you know, brought it closer to the middle. I'll also eventually be moving this bloody hose connection here, because it is messy as hell. It was just thrown into place. All right, so this is in place now. Next job is to get the negative cable in place, and then I'll connect these two together. So I think I'll time lapse that. Okay, so now we've got to the section where we're going to be connecting to the inverter bus bar section. So I was going to put these on the side of the cabinet, but I figured I've got plenty of space under here anyway. This here, and then the black right beside it, and on the inverter side of it, that's where I'm going to have the 150 amp fuse. I hope that's enough. All right, I suppose I'll get moving on that. Okay, so I found that using the 35 dies, it gets them tight, but it doesn't get them tight enough. So if there's any real kind of strain put on the cable, you can actually get a bit of a turn on this. So what I'm doing is, I don't have a 30, but I do have a 25 die. So once I kind of lock it down at the 35, I can then change the dies and put in the 25 and make it tighter. So it squeezes out a bit of material there, which shows that it's just a little bit too kind of small of a die, or too big of a jump from 35 to 25. I mean, you could get it down to 25 easy enough if you go 35, 30 and then 25, but this little bit of kind of exploded material, I suppose, is fine. It's not going to cause any issues. So 35 first, 25 next, and I'm going to go back over all my connections on the 35 square to make sure that is done properly as well. I don't want any of these coming loose, and I want to make sure that contact is really good. Well, I'm glad I spotted that before it became a potential hazard. So all of the lugs that I had set at the 35 die, I've now brought them down to 25, and they're absolutely solid. My ass is hurting from sitting on this hard plastic stool, so I'm going to take myself a little bit of a break, and then I'm going to get back to it. Okay, I've taken a few minutes out there. I can feel my legs again. So I've gone pretty much as far as I can do. I'll just show you where we are. So we have this positive connector going all the way down to accommodate for battery 3. The negative connector is the last piece in the puzzle here that I'm going to connect today. Again, that runs all the way down. The main 35mm bus bar system is going all the way down to where battery 3 will be. Obviously, I have to wait for the delivery of the 25 square cable, so 4 meters of black and 4 meters of red. So I'll be able to finish the wiring of that for battery 2 and for battery 3. I also have to finish cutting this out, so actually I'll get that done today as well. There's no point in showing you that. You've seen enough of that on camera, so there's no point in really showing you anymore. Now, off camera, I just wanted to check to see, could I run my 35 square? So again, from under here, The idea was to run it out through these little holes here, run it up the side, connect my 150 amp inline fuse and voltmeter inline here, and then run it into the inverter. Now, the issue here is if I start messing around with this, I'm going to affect the warranty on my inverter. This is actually the second inverter. The first one I had installed, what was it, April, I think it was, so April this year, 2024. And it developed a fault where it wasn't making a connection to this little dongle here. The Wi-Fi was working fine on it, but it wasn't actually connecting to the inverter. And Solus agreed to replace the entire inverter, which I think is a bit of a waste, but anyway, that's what they've done. So I've had this inverter, I don't know, about a month now, and I've taken this cap off for the battery cables, and they are 25mm, of course. So I've switched all the equipment off as per the instructions, and I removed the battery cable, and definitely this being a 35 square is not going to fit. So it's a different diameter connection. In fact, I get connections with these. So without you know, going into this further and again negatively impacting my warranty, I can't really go any further with that with regards to 35 square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect it up with 25. So I'm going to use the original battery cables. I'm going to run those down to those buzz bars. Hopefully I have enough length in it. I think I do. If not, I'll just extend to 35 square. So I'll run that down, and I will also look into the possibility of getting 35 square cable into the 25, what are they called, ethanol connectors or whatever they are, the battery plugs. So if I can get 25 square spares and fit 35 square cable in there, and it's not going to you know, cause any problem, it can carry that kind of charge or voltage, then or amps, then I will go ahead and do that. So I need to look into it. I'm sure it'll be fine, but I need to look into it first before I do that. If I can do it, then I'll avoid the need to kill my warranty, which I really don't want to do, even though I'm probably going to be upgrading this inverter in the near to medium future, get something with a bit more bite. I'll probably upgrade to either the 8 or the 10 kilowatt unit. I'll more than likely stick with Solus, because I already have all the settings in place. I know what needs to be, so I'll just keep it as it is. Right, so that's pretty much it for now. It's Thursday, Halloween, 31st of October, and I will be getting a delivery on Saturday. So all going well, I'll be able to finish this off on Saturday or Sunday. So fingers crossed I get this done the weekend. So you'll see me in a few seconds again, and for me it's going to be a few days wait.